Hello cruel world, my name is Dr. Shaham Das. I'm a consultant forensic psychiatrist and I'm about to go through some of the questions that you kindly sent me in. Let's get started. So the first question is from Tessa Leanne and it is, how should I behave if I'm innocent? Well, firstly, Tessa, it kind of sounds like you've got something to hide maybe. Secondly, I would say that if you're innocent and you're being questioned by the police, you absolutely must get a lawyer, because even if you are innocent, there are occasionally situations where the police can try and push you or bully you or pressurize you into saying something that might incriminate you. So it's always good to have legal representation. In terms of what your actual behavior should be like, the worst thing that you can do is be unhelpful, arrogant, or defensive. The best thing that you can do is just give as much information as you possibly can. Even if you don't think it's necessarily that relevant to the alleged offense, not only does it make you look better, but it also means that one of the police tactics of trying to trick you by getting you to contradict yourself will be rendered inoperable if you do that. So that's my advice. So question number 2 is from Joanne Dolly Doyle, and it is, I'm always curious about people who have maybe killed once or killed a number of people but then stopped. They then lead very ordinary lives, so when they are revealed, the neighbours and friends are completely shocked to learn of their past. I suppose I would like to ask why they suddenly could develop this sense of control. Well, that's a very good question. I think it's quite complicated and it's different for different cases. I think for some people they have this temporary kind of bloodlust that only lasts for a short period of time, and that might be related to problems with their mental health. So for example, if they're feeling particularly low or particularly depressed or irritable, then it might just push them over the barrier to start acting out violently. And over time, our mental health can change, it can improve with various social factors, medication, etc. So that would be one context. I suppose probably a more common context is that some people understand that they've pushed their luck. So they've managed to get away with some horrific crimes, serious violence, maybe even murder, but they've been quite close to being caught. So there's been a police investigation, there's been some interest in their local area, but they've got away. And they basically, they cash their chips in when they realise that they're that close to being caught. So I don't think it's really necessarily a sense of internal control. It's just them looking out for their own future and being defensive about their opportunity to get away with it. I think that's more common. Question number 3 is from Laura Phillip. Why, if I speak too much, is considered being guilty just because I want to explain myself? Just asking. So Laura, I would postulate that speaking too much in itself doesn't make you look guilty, but it can make you look nervous, which is not quite exactly the same thing. So another way to put that is, if you're innocent, I don't think there's anything wrong with speaking too much. The more detail that you can give the police during any kind of line of questioning helps them triangulate all the facts. And ultimately, if there isn't any evidence against you, it helps your case. However, if you are guilty and you speak too much, then that is a big disadvantage, because there's more of a chance that you can contradict yourself or slip up by having different pieces of information or your own narrative that contradict each other. And I suppose another issue is if you speak too much, then you're concentrating on what you're saying, so it doesn't give you an opportunity to kind of get your facts right and to change your story as it's happening when you're being interrogated. So I hope that answered your question. Question number 4 is from Jasmine B. Does everyone in capital letters, have narcissistic traits? I would say that everybody has traits, but that's different from everybody having a narcissistic disorder. So I think to a degree, everybody is self-confident, self-aggrandizing in their minds. Everybody has maybe a sense of importance and self-entitlement, not necessarily about every single thing that they do, but in certain aspects of their life. However, not necessarily everybody acts on it. So not everybody is argumentative or demanding or manipulative. So I think people have the traits, but they don't have the behaviors that would push it over into an actual diagnosable disorder.